What's up guys, back to another Konosuba video. In today's video we are going to go over the part 2 Overlord banners. So of course some of you guys are probably already going to have some of these characters because Shalltear and Megumin, which are the two 4-stars on this banner, are actually already in part 1 and the other Overlord collab banners. They're just unfeatured. So let's say for example Maid Leah, right? I don't have Maid Leah. I want to summon and pull Maid Leah. I have the same chance of pulling Shalltear and Megumin as I do Maid Leah or any other character that's not Ainz, the Ainz Cosma, or Darkness Albedo. So that is why they were not included on Should You Summon, because honestly, if you summoned for them, you know, I'm sorry. It was almost like, not saying it's impossible, but you could spend infinite amount of money and still never get them. So now that they're on the part 2 banner, I will be going over how good they are, and I will say Shalltear is really good. The only thing is she's replaced sooner than Ainz, so if you're worried, oh wait, I summoned on the first banner, don't worry, the first banner was the better banner to summon on. Anyway, let's get into what the units do. So Shalltear is a light unit, as odd as that seems, because she's a fire and all that stuff. Don't worry, if you've seen Overlord, you'll know why. She is a limited collab unit. They are never coming back, by the way. She's the new best light unit. It is what it is, Darkness. I'd say she's probably the second best. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head because light mages are just not it anymore. And we haven't gotten any crazy light unit in a minute, I swear. She also has a crazy good ult, just because good damage, just best light unit. And she's a first English is hard. First transforming unit, which is interesting because I don't think any other unit actually has a transformation. It's just Shalltear. Even on the JP version, I mean, I could be mistaken. There could be a collab with a transforming ult, but to my knowledge, this is the only one, and this is the only one JP has, which is very interesting and kind of sucks. If you guys know what 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross is, there is a collab with AOT. They had Aaron. He would transform, and then they had a OC that was just for the game called it Camilla, and she could transform, and they never did anything else with it. I don't know what it is with certain gotchas where they're like, yeah, make this unit transform, and then they never do it again. I really hope that we get a new transforming unit, maybe an OC, or maybe like, I don't know. We'll see what they could do, but it'd be a very interesting gimmick. But anyway, let's go over what she does. So Shalltear has a 6% attack using physical attacks EX skill. She is a Megumin sub trait. So as good as Darkness and Cosma are for Albedo and Ainz, this is not the case for Shalltear. Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking. Very weird. You're probably not going to use Megumin subs on Shalltear unless they're like the light based ones, but really weird. I don't really like how they did that, but regardless, she has a 115 elementalist basic with a small self hero. She does not heal off of no characters. All the Overlord characters are undead / those who would be hurt by healing spells. Then her first skill is a 162 single target light physical damage and a tier 2 physical defense debuff for 12 seconds. Then she has a 170 single target light physical damage, 228 when above 70% HP, and a self 20% ultimate gauge charge. It is kind of crappy that it is a self one, because if it was a team one, that would be huge, but it is what it is. We'll still take it. And her ult, Inenharger, I butchered that, I apologize. It's a 314 single target light physical damage, self tier 3 physical attack buff for 12 seconds, a self tier 3 physical defense buff for 12 seconds, and transforms into her armored form for 12 seconds. Now, I do know that in her armored form, she actually gets a speed buff. The only thing with this speed buff is I don't know if it's tier 1, 2, or 3. I'm assuming it's probably not 3 because that'd be crazy insane. But you can stack it with other buffs because it is technically not a speed buff. It just makes her attack faster. So very cool. You could probably make her go insanely quick and attack a bunch at once. Plus she looks cool because she's transformed. That is Shalltear. Now let's get into the not as good unit, which is Megumin and Shalltear's outfit. It is a limited collab as well. This is our third light Megumin, by the way. The other two are the ReZero Megumin and the Idol Megumin. She could see some use. She does have competition because there's 2 other ones. By competition, I mean definitely not the Idol one. and I'll tell you why she could see some use. So she has the 6% attack when using fire and light attacks skill, a 126 elementalist basic attack, there's a 105 AoE light magic damage, and a party tier 2 agility buff for 10 seconds. Then she has a 170 single target light magic damage, 228 if above 7% HP, and a self tier 2 magic attack buff for 16 seconds. So, the reason I'm saying she could have some use is because her agility buff is better than the ReZero one. The ReZero one was used so much because she had 2 AoEs. So if you are in a situation in Arena where you can either AoE one stage and single target the other, or get away with only really using the single target, you get a better use out of her agility buff. Unfortunately, if for whatever reason you can't get her ult, or you do a lot less damage on the ult, the ReZero one is be better because 2 AoEs you get more gauge from killing the enemies. But overall, if you can make this one work, she'd work better just because better agility buff. The only issue with that is I don't know if it comes out with Festival Chris, but I know there's an update that makes Arena's tank non-super effective hits more, meaning if you brought this Megumin for Fire Arena, all her attacks would do less damage, and if you brought her in Light Arena, her ultimate would do less damage, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of Megumin. Not too sure when that kicks in, but when that does, these units are going to go down, and that's going to suck. Overall, you probably could see some use, especially if you don't have the ReZero one. This one's going to help a ton because the idle one only has 2 single targets and they're kind of crap. Other than that, that is pretty much it. I will say, I am kind of sad. I know Cosmo Ainz looks sick, but I really do wish we had a Megumin or a Yin or a Crimson Demon in Ainz's outfit, because I think that'd be sick. But, I mean, I guess we'll just have to, cope with the Shalltear version, which, like I said, I'm not a big fan of her EX skill being Megumin because Megumin's a magic. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you're excited, if you've already pulled the units. I know a ton of you have already pulled Shalltear. For those of you who are summoning, best of luck. Also, Ainz, Cosmo, and Darkness are all on this banner, so keep that in mind. You could pull them. The verdict for if you should summon or not. Personally, if you already have Ainz and you have 70k quartz for Chris, I think you're good. If you want them for collection, summon. Don't bother about Chris, just summon until you get them. Chris will come back, these units won't. If you care about Chris and you have 75k, it is what it is. Skip the banner. If you have more, good. As long as you leave this banner with at least around a pity, so you can get your pity back before Chris leaves, you are okay to summon. If you are lower on that, really think about it if you really want these units or not. Personally, I recommend always summoning for the collab units, just because if, let's say, a month from now, you watch Overlord and you're like, oh my gosh, Shalltear is my favorite character, and you don't have her, you quite literally can't get her ever, so you just would never be able to use her. Which is the main reason why I'm really sad that my account doesn't have the ReZero Aqua. Unfortunate as it is, it bothers me a lot, but I don't want you guys to be in that same scenario where you want to use a character and you just can't ever summon for them again. I know in game it says that they can come back, but JP has never had a collab rerun, so keep that in mind. Other than that, that's pretty much it for the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more Konosuba content. There will be summons tomorrow as I try to get Shalltear without running through all my cords. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.